So what really sets our Method saddle apart from other options on the market is that it allows you to be super compact to a point where it's almost unnoticeable when you're walking into the woods, but you don't lose comfort once you get into the tree. One of the main problems we ran into when we were testing saddles for our own personal use is that we found ourselves having to choose between compact and comfort with the single panel saddles that are out on the market. The double panel saddle allows you to ride it up as you're walking in the woods, so you don't even notice it, and then when you get in the tree you can deploy that bottom piece, which allows you to get that comfort and support where you need it. In addition to allowing you to be super compact and comfortable, the dual panel saddles allow you to move those pressure points on your body to alleviate those pain points that people talk about. So when we were developing this saddle, we actually looked at the anatomy of the hips, and we tried to truly define what is hip pinch. Everybody complains about hip pinch, but what is it? And so we pointed out, or I guess we identified 2 points on the hips that seem to be the issue. Point 1 is the top of your femur bone. You have a hard point right here. If your main webbing straps are riding on that, you're going to get hip pinch. The other point is the top of your hip bone, which is called your iliac crest. So our goal was to design this so that you could completely move the main support webbing straps off of those points, therefore eliminating hip pinch.
So as I mentioned, I hunted out of an Anderson sling for a long time, and you can kind of see how that was somewhat the genesis of what became our Method saddle. The biggest challenge I had with the Anderson sling was that when you were not in a tree, it literally exploded into a ball of webbing in your backpack, and you couldn't wear it hiking in because it was sort of sloppy and all over the place. So one of the big goals, in addition to our core value prop with this product of being compact walking in and super comfortable in the tree, is to make it as user-friendly as possible. And that's one of the big advantages of some of the new single panel saddles that have come out to the market. We do feel that there's some gaps there in how they function, but they function very simply. And so the goal was to take a 2-panel saddle and slim it down and make it extremely user-friendly so it functions like a one-piece saddle most of the time, but you get all of the advantages from a comfort standpoint of a 2-panel design. So this is our Method saddle. You can see this one's been in the woods a little bit, but it's a 2-panel design. We call it a modern 2-panel design because it was originally based off of the Anderson sling. But we've done quite a few different things to make this extremely user-friendly and improve on some of the comfort aspects. The number one thing that I want to show with this particular version of it, because we do have 2 versions of the Method saddle, and this is extremely unique to us, is this rope belt for your waist belt. Most waist belts are made of webbing, and they include a heavy metal buckle. We actually eliminated some weight, potential noise, by totally removing that buckle and switching to a climbing rated rope using a climbing rated slider knot. So the advantages to this is it's, like I mentioned, lighter weight, no chance for noise, and then the biggest one that we found, kind of by accident, because we built this for ourselves and our personal hunting styles, is that this waist belt holds and carries weight with your saddle when you're hiking in the woods way better than any buckle-based waist belt system. When you look at any type of a buckle system, there's always a chance for that webbing to slowly work itself loose with the sliders, and as you move around, it just comes loose over time, no matter how light a weight you're carrying or how heavy a weight you're carrying. With this rope belt and this knot, it does not budge. It's a climbing rated knot. It holds with friction and it does not move. So you're not gonna have your saddle riding down as you're carrying your gear into the woods with this model. A couple other things we've done. So 2 panels. 2 panels get messy real quick if there's not a clean, simple way to connect them together while you're hiking in the woods. So we have a simple clip-based system here with just a loop on the inside of the bottom panel. This just slides in and out. You can do it with one hand. It's easy to do in the dark. These clips are made of Kydex, the same material that many gun holsters are made out of. So it's durable, it's light, it's quiet. It's a very simple system, and that's unique to us. A couple other things we added. Here's our Lyman belt loops. All saddles, modern day saddles, have these. This is something that's visible when you're in this compact mode, this compact hiking position. So you would actually wear it and climb in the tree in this position so that these are available. But when you deploy your bottom piece, when you get up in the tree, those Lyman belt loops actually skinny down and disappear. So they're not in the way when you're in the tree. There's no chance of hooking on them as you're maneuvering for a shot. Two other things I want to mention. One are these vertical lines here that we built into the structure of the saddle. We call it our vertical support system. One of the challenges with many saddles on the market is that their construction is relatively soft and doesn't hold its shape, which contributes to some discomfort in terms of the saddle wanting to ride up or causing hip pinch at times. So one other thing we added to the saddle over the course of the development process was what we're calling our vertical support system. You can see these vertical lines in the design and structure of the saddle. What this does is it adds stiffness and rigidity so that the saddle actually holds its shape while you're in the tree. Prevents the fabric from bunching or wanting to bunch, which is very common with other designs on the market. And that can contribute to discomfort with things like the saddle wanting to ride up over the course of time, and it just causes general fidgeting in the tree. This gives it a little bit more of a feeling of like a chair or a seat on a high-end hang-on type of mobile tree stand. So you get some additional comfort with those, and that's a small detail that's often overlooked by customers, but it makes a big difference. Last thing I'll add, and this was just something that was driven by the consumer and what they're looking for, is we do have an adjustable bridge, and a bridge on the saddle is the rope that comes across your hips in front of you, and you actually attach yourself to the tree. You clip into the tree with this rope. Our bridge rope is adjustable in length, which helps you dial in comfort and kind of change the angles of how you're sitting in the tree with the saddle. A couple things that are unique to this saddle as well is how that bridge attaches to the saddle on the bridge loop itself. So one of the things we did with the bridge loop is we actually stuffed them with rope to make them round so that these knots that hold the bridge in place actually function better. And what I mean by that is they will hold in place better, but they're also then easier to adjust on the fly when you're in the tree. The reason we have this knot on here, and the reason we have this adjustable so that it can slide up and down on the bridge loop, is so that you can balance the saddle properly on your body and the weight distribution between the top and the bottom panels. One of the things we noticed in our testing and our development was that when we didn't have this feature and function, the saddle would tend to become unbalanced, and you couldn't yourself influence where your weight was spread throughout the saddle. It would tend to want to center in an uncomfortable position. So in addition to our saddles, we actually have a full end-to-end saddle hunting system. This is one of our gear pouches. Couple things that are unique that sort of drove us crazy with some of the ones that are on the market today is, number one, it's quiet. It's made out of the same high-grade mesh that our saddles are made out of, so this is going to last forever. And then we also added a pocket here on the front, and this was something that our field testers absolutely demanded. There are pockets in other existing dump pouches, but for some reason they don't have a mechanism to close. And I'm not using a pocket hunting in, coming in and out of the woods in the dark and putting valuables in there. They're just gonna get lost. And then the last two things unique to this is we did add an attachment point for hanging or hooking accessories while climbing up and down the tree. That was something our field testers asked for. And then just the overall size. We made these a little bit bigger, which makes it easier to get stuff in and out of them in the dark. A lot of other saddles on the market, we do have a MOLLE or a PAL system for attaching accessories. So just to show you how our pouch here attaches to our saddle, it's real simple. We just take these tabs and we slide it in from the top, going down through these loops, pull them through, and then they're gonna hold in place like that. And you would do that with both tabs, but you can do that with a ton of different accessories, and it allows you to really customize your saddle for the gear that you like to use.